Jesus. We are back. TV Time Machine podcast. Kids episodes. I don't know if I would do well working on a kids program.
No?
I don't know if I'd like those perimeters. You can't really
Ah,
be expressive.
yeah.
Unless it was an animated show, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But these shows like Transformers and Avengers, and each episode has its own title and writer, and someone's writing that stuff.
Hmm.
They have to have access to the full franchise Bible book in order to come up with a story.
Yeah.
You would think.
You would think.
I mean, like the Transformers Rescue Bots or whatever is Transformers, but even watered down more for younger Transformer fans.
Mhm.
So to like 3 to 10 market maybe, and all the stories are like, oh, someone's trapped in a Firewatch house, and Transformers have to go and rescue them, or the Decepticons started a forest fire, but it's never anything like violent. So it was like
Yeah.
nature fighting nature. That's got to be hard for a writer that has ambitions for screenwriting, and
Yeah.
they're also getting paid to write, so you can't diss on it too much.
For sure. But have you ever seen that movie, Permanent Midnight?
Yeah, the writer for
Which,
Alf.
yeah, yeah. The book is even better. It just about he talks about how writing that stuff makes you feel like, you know, just like to everybody just like just makes you feel cheap.
Well, yeah, you're writing, you're a writer for hire. You're
Yeah.
writing stuff you normally wouldn't,
Yeah. Definitely.
and it's paying your bills. It's kind of like writing a column versus writing a feature. If
Or
you're
a
a
novel or
journalist.
something.
Yeah. Luis, you're on the column. You're doing buffet reviews. That's what you got. Okay. But I have a really hot lead on some like conspiracy where the mayor's like using some money from the
Said
town.
buffets.
I said buffets, Luis. And then I get a hot tip from my friend Adam, and we explode this huge like conspiracy and have to run for our lives. And then I lose my journalist credibility before the big story breaks.
All the presidents, man.
Yeah, good shit. Damn it. I thought I was an original. I didn't think you'd catch on to that plot.
I watched I rewatched that recently,
The Pelican Brief.
and uh like 25 minutes in, there's a scene where Dustin Hoffman and Robert Redford are eating, and the Foley on Dustin Hoffman's chewing is the worst chewing Foley I've ever heard in my life. It's like and he doesn't look like he's eating like that. It just sounds so messy, and it's like, who did this?
He's got some weird, um, what do you call it? Idiosyncrasies, I guess, in how he performs. Like in Marathon Man, his breathing was like
Uh
all that jogging that he did in that movie.
yeah.
And
But he's like eating like this. There's like almost no movement in his mouth while he's chewing, and you just hear. It's like, who did that?
oh, they had to make it
Like
action
that
packed.
editor had something against Dustin Hoffman or something.
They had to
Robert
make it.
Redford doesn't sound like that when he's eating.
I'm sure he doesn't. Have you heard of the Backyardigans?
Yes.
What shows annoyed you when the kids were little and they just wanted
I
it
think
on replay?
that was a show that didn't annoy me that much. There were shows that annoyed me more, like Caillou, but yeah,
Oh no. Or Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig.
Did you see the fan movie where Peppa Pig gets addicted to bacon and comes home and like becomes a zombie and like kills her whole family? It's fucked up. I gotta send it to you. They're like, Peppa, no. it's in Spanish too. It's even worse. Like expressions like "es un cannibalism," and it's like crying, and the mom's like "no," and then she like turns into like a demon and eats them. Super fucked up, and it's in the same style of animation as the show. So when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh my god, this is the
It's a dark
fuck,
episode.
Jesus." Um,
Because
yeah,
like the animators pulled a prank on like the producer. They're like, this is the new,
this
and then it got
episode.
leaked. It accidentally got leaked.
I always thought it was funny when we went and saw, when the wrong trailer plays in front of a kids movie. That happened to me and the
Oh
kids.
yeah, yeah.
We went and saw, I forget what it was, but they played the trailer for Blade Runner 2049, and that's a super violent trailer and scary. And I don't remember what we were going to see, but my kids were just like horrified because it was so adult and so like
Uh-huh.
larger than life and totally not for kids.
Yeah. I think that
Um,
happened when we went to when we took the kids to see Megamind.
mhm.
They like started playing some trailer, and then like, after like parents started like shouting like, "What's going on?"
Turn this off.
Yeah, it like went off, but it was like prior to that, it was like Alien versus Predator or something. Like it was just
We went,
definitely like an
yeah.
R-rated trailer.
At Living Room, they played Bombshell when we went and saw Rise of Skywalker. They just
That's
started the
interesting.
movie, and I was like,
Oh yeah, that's right.
this is the credits for Bombshell, and then just the movie just started, and my friend was like, I've seen Rise of Skywalker. Let's just watch this. Ah, I don't remember. I don't know. I don't feel like Star Wars kids shows translated well. I mean, the Clone Wars tried that did pretty well, but I remember like Droids. Remember Droids?
Droids, Uncle Gundy.
And Ewok Adventure had their own like cartoon.
Ewoks wasn't as good. I felt like Droids was better, even though it was like about some junk collector. At least as a kid, I
Thal
liked it.
Jobin.
What?
Thal Jobin was the character. He was like Luke's cousin or something,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he ended up with the droids, but they never showed Luke.
Nope, nope.
There was never any talk of the Force. It was like bravely, you know, canon, but way off. Like
Mhm.
not Luke Skywalker saga at all.
Yeah,
Um, and
Uncle
they were
Gundy.
all cyberpunks. The whole show was like cyberpunky.
Totally, totally.
Um, I will say though, looking at the Dora Explorer, the movie actually was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like we enjoyed it.
Oh, my daughters love it.
It was
They
very
think it's
tongue in cheek.
hysterical. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
They say it's hysterical though.
I think it could be a franchise for sure because it's very self aware. It makes fun of itself.
Mhm.
She breaks the fourth wall in it a lot, and
That's what they've said.
no one gets why. They're just like, what the fuck is she doing? Can you say yeah? So that stuff's funny, and then for a movie like that, for a show to translate, I'm trying to think what other kid shows try to become movies, and it just didn't work. I don't know. Kids cartoons nowadays are definitely not like what we're used to. Like We Bear Bears and Steven Universe, they're kind of like more adult.
Uh-huh.
They're definitely for adults, but they cater to kids. But there's some really dark
There's some really
storylines.
good shows. Have you seen Craig of the Creek or what's the other one? Yeah, my son had like nightmares from like an episode of Craig of the Creek.
Craig of the Creek, what's that?
Uh my friend whose name I can't remember. My friend Jeff does the music for it.
Oh wow.
That was how I first heard about it. But it's kind of similar, or it didn't I didn't think it was at first, but it's
Oh, Cartoon Network. Yeah, 114 episodes.
yeah.
A fictional suburban Baltimore, D.C. area town of Hercleton, Maryland. A boy named Craig Williams and his two friends Kelsey and John have their many adventures in the titular creek described as a utopia of untamed wilderness in which tribes of children reign over tree forts and dirt bike ramps. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a little Lord of the Rings animated show.
It's like
Lord of the
Lord of the
Flies.
Flies. Yeah.
Yeah, not Lord
Yeah.
of the Rings.
Yeah. Um, but some of the episodes are kind of dark. And like it's fine for me, but like my 6-year-old was like went from loving the show to like doesn't want to watch an episode again because he's worried there's going to be more scary episodes.
There's another show like that where this character, it's a kid show, but it's basically, and I think it's Adult Swim, but it's basically a character that's in hell, but he's a kid. And it's interesting. And Eli lost his shit once when watching it. I don't know why he was watching it, but he was in the other room. He starts screaming, and I run in there. He's like, "Look at this!" And it was one of the characters pulled out its like eyes to like get a bigger like view of the room. It was awful. I was like, "Why are you watching this?" And man, what a dad fail on my part to like not have that off of
Look at
YouTube.
this.
My God, interesting. So,
Wow.
what was your go to like? What translates well nowadays? Because some shows
Ooh.
are just archived. Like
Yeah, not many.
H&R Puff and stuff would never ever be.
Most of the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff does not hold up well.
It's very like pedo, like weird,
It's really
odd.
weird. The way the giant creatures interact with the kids, it's yeah.
Simon and the Sea Monsters freaked me out
Yeah.
as a kid.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be friends with those sea monsters. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Sigmund and the Sea Monster. That's what it was, right? Sigmund.
I thought it was Simon. Wasn't there another one named
Maybe
Simon?
it's
Or
maybe he was Simon and Sigmund the Sea Monster. I thought the Sea Monster's name was Sigmund. The boy's
so
name
weird.
might have been Simon, but Sigmund is such a weird name for a sea monster.
Yeah, weird show. The puppets were so like puppet looking, and but intermingled with humans.
Mm-hmm.
The Muppet Show is a constant. I constantly think about how many times they've redone the Muppets. The one that was on ABC was more adult.
Oh, much more.
Like Fozzie
And they
saying,
added like a bunch of new characters.
yeah, they had Walter from the movie, which is cool.
Oh, you mean the newer? There's a newer Muppets?
Yeah, from like 2016.
Oh, I didn't know about that
It
one.
was on ABC.
I did not know about that show. I thought you meant the one ABC did in like the late 90s.
Yeah, that one I don't remember, but
It's
they
like
gave
mid to late 90s.
yeah, Disney bought them in that at that time and then tried to do I remember that. Yeah, that one was really adult. Like they were
It was really adult.
like, what do
It
you
was on
call it?
prime time.
Yeah, I remember one of
Yeah.
them was like, what do you call an elephant and a wino?
What?
It was a joke, and it was like Alifino. It's like, what? This is not for kids. Stupid joke.
It got canceled really quick.
Yeah, this new one did too. The 2015 Muppets that was on prime time.
Yeah.
The first episode, Fozzie was talking about how he put out uh, on a dating profile that he was a cuddly bear. He's like, I'm shocked at how many men hit me up. It's like, wow, the kids aren't going to get that. It's
Yeah,
definitely
of
for the
course not.
adults.
Of course not.
Um,
But wasn't the original show was like that?
I mean, I don't remember even where the original show ran. That must have run probably on like it was a major network, but
Yeah.
it wasn't a kid show though.
I
It was
remember watching it with my parents.
yeah, I remember
A lot.
that.
And I definitely remember them laughing and me not always getting
Getting
why
it.
they were laughing.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder nowadays it's also common. Nowadays, kid shows have to be tied into the marketing of toys too,
Mm-hmm.
as well. Because back then we got the toys, but we also got like a social lesson on bullying, or
Mm-hmm.
not letting a dog bite you, or good touching versus bad touching. You definitely don't want to get in someone's car if they have candy.
Yep.
I always thought that was dumb as a kid. I was like, I never liked candy that much where a stranger would lure me into their car. Like, you gotta,
With yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that kids, that doesn't happen to kids, but for me as a child, when my parents would be like, never get in a car with someone with candy, I'm like, they would have to
Mhm.
have like a Game Boy,
Yeah.
a
It's
Genesis.
good. I got
Say,
this I got this
I got
TurboGrafx
this Game Boy.
16.
That's terrible. Not something to joke about at all, but just I don't know. I kind of miss the innocence of like, hey, we need to make money off these kids, and let's have this like Saturday morning cartoon. It seemed like 4 hour block, but there was always like some nice little social message
Mhm.
from your characters. Like GI Joe was like, put your hand out before you touch a dog. Like, let it smell you. Make sure it's friendly, or don't bully, or don't bully people.
Yeah.
And I don't think that that happens now.
I think the Transformers did something like that at the end of their show too.
Yeah, they always had some nice message.
There was a lot of the shows had those
GI
actually.
Joe, yeah.
Thundercats, I feel like had something like that, or Voltron.
Voltron
There'd
was
be like
cool.
something about teamwork and
Thundercats, apparently, the new script and test footage supposedly is going to knock our socks off when we see it and get the movie finally. Which I'm not interested in the Thundercats movie. I think they're going to have to really do something
uh
super cool and clever with it.
well, so the thing is, I always thought of Thundercats almost like as a horror cartoon.
Like gargoyles.
Because if you look up the bad guy, do you remember the bad guy?
Yeah, he was like a demon, right?
Yeah,
Let's look it up.
yeah.
Thundercats. I remember him being super demonic.
So yeah, yeah. So I'm like, if it's not like really scary, I don't know about I don't know if they'll play right or if it'll just be like an action adventure version of Cats. Like that's the risk they're running. Cats, the sequel, like it's,
God.
it's really easy for the critics.
Did you see that movie?
No.
I refuse.
I
I
like my
refuse.
time. I like time too much.
Yeah, it looked awful.
I can't put myself through it. Not even
I
just
can't.
not even just for the to be able to, I don't know, make jokes about it. I don't know. I see no utility in watching it.
Yeah, there's no payoff.
No.
List of Thundercats characters. Do you remember his name, Panthro?
Oh, that was his name.
Wish they would have pictures next to these. So they're
I
like
saw.
humanoid cats. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing for a kid show to be about that. They're kind of like, I don't know, tapping into the whole furry and thing a little bit. I forget what you
Yeah,
call
to
that.
save the world from darkness.
Interesting.
That's the Lionel's faithful comrades join him on his journey to save their world from darkness.
Grun the
That-
Destroyer.
What's his name? Groon?
Grun?
Groon. Which also sounds like Groom, the destroyer.
Ugh, Grum.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is weird. And then there was another one, the same producers, right, that did Silverhawks. Remember?
Hmm.
What the fuck was that about? I just remember that was the same kind of yeah.
Silverhawks was weird. I didn't really watch that show. I did watch Mask, Voltron,
Mass was
He-Man.
so good. He-Man supposedly back. I hear the new trailer is like out of this world. Kevin Smith's in charge of this one.
Oh,
He's
really?
talented. Yeah,
Peaked interest.
he's really good. the Masters of the Universe. Yeah, and I
There's
didn't.
been so many failed Masters of the Universe like films.
I've only know the one with Dolph Lundgren. I didn't.
No. There's been ones that they've started like pre-production on,
Oh,
and then they've just like got like canned them before they went too far.
He Man didn't have the power, huh?
I've seen like there's like promo shots from like different uh and like camera tests from different failed Masters of the Universe like
There's
reboots
a camera
because
test for
they
Thundercats too.
can't wait to make that again.
Yeah, it's gonna have to.
The Aryan Prince Adam, Master of the Universe.
Yeah,
That's the premise of the show.
he is Aryan.
He's the
Whoa,
Aryan Prince Adam, the self-proclaimed master of the universe.
there's a bunch of Thundercat stuff on here. Popeye actually had a test footage. Remember, it was like an actual cartoon. They were supposed to make Popeye.
Oh yeah.
Animation's really good. Apparently, it's back on after being stalled for like 9 years. I never really got into Popeye or Betty Boop, any of
No.
that stuff at all.
I watched Popeye cartoons, but I was not really into them. Like sometimes, you're like at a friend's house and they're like, I love this show.
And I think when I was a kid, I wanted to believe that spinach would make me super
Huh.
strong. Well, what a fucked up way to trick kids eating spinach. You know,
I loved spinach until I found out I was allergic to it.
I always hated it. I love it now, but especially cooked spinach. Ugh.
Um, yeah, and then the trend of, kid shows that actually star kids.
What do you mean?
Um, like the shows like All That, Are You Afraid of the Dark,
Oh yeah.
Goosebumps, you
I
know.
always hated those Disney sitcoms with just kids though. Those were always so cheesy.
Yeah, because it's
All
like
that.
half. It's like if it's like maybe half the cast can actually act or is actually funny, but it's like usually like just one or two,
There
and then
was
the
yeah.
rest are like,
Always one kid that was larger than life that would carry the whole show.
mm-hmm,
That was like an adult that was in child form, like
yeah,
well above their years, like
yeah.
maturity
That's like
wise.
Keenan and Kel on All That,
Yeah.
because the rest of them were, even as a kid, I was just like, this is horrendous. Like this is not funny. Like half the cast, like there was the kid that just wanted to be Jim Carrey, and he
Mm.
just did Jim Carrey faces and mannerisms and
Oh,
gestures and stuff, and it was just like, this isn't funny. Like you're not Jim Carrey, and this isn't funny. Or
I remember
yeah,
Salute Your Shorts being kind of on the edge. It was edgy.
yeah.
Um, and Bunked was like a Salute Your Shorts remake on Disney, and that's a little.
Oh, really?
It's like shot in film and a little crazier, a little funnier. The kids laughed a lot watching that one.
Hmm. I'll
Um,
have to check that out. I
the
liked
secret.
the original, and it's funny because the Budnick character, he was in some like metal band in like during that, like, and they like toured with like big bands.
Oh, the Salute Your Shorts.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah,
the kid, the red Danny, uh, who he was also on Different Strokes.
yeah.
He
Sam.
was the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that's where the term comes from.
Yeah, he got kidnapped and like beat up, and that kid was always getting fucked up in different strokes. They hated his character.
Yeah.
Kidnapped, locked out of things.
Hmm.
Um,
But
yeah.
then the second season of Salute Your Shorts, they added a character named Pinsky,
Hmm.
and he went on to be in the band Rilo Kiley
Interesting.
with other child actress. Her name just went out of my head. She was in The Wizard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That redheaded girl.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We just saw The Wizard. That's a sad movie, dude. Ugh.
It's a really sad movie. I loved that movie when I was a kid, though.
California. I was like, this is sad. They're talking about a dead child. This is awful.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yep. Jenny Lewis. That was it. It was Jenny Lewis.
What is she up to these days, Miss Lewis?
She's still playing music. She just solo. Her music is amazing, actually. It's really funny. My mom's favorite album a few years ago was one of her albums, which was called Acid Ton. And
Jenny, you've
cover was
changed.
like the cover of the album was a sheet of acid, and like the album was like about acid. It was my mom's favorite album.
You got a cool mom there.
I actually do. She is really cool.
That's awesome. Well, I am all out of kid shows, but
Yeah. But a recommendation, I
Mhm.
would check out Showbiz Kids, the documentary Showbiz Kids by Alex Winter of Bill and Ted fame.
When did that come out?
A few years ago, but it's on HBO, and
Is it a movie or a documentary
it's
or
a documentary. Um, I haven't seen 90s Kid
yeah, Kid 90 is good.
or Kid 90. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but it's really good. And something that shocked me that was in it, I didn't know Christopher Walken was a child actor.
I didn't know that either.
He was acting from the time he was like single digits in TV,
Hmm.
and then like he didn't get his first like real role until he was like 10 or something, like where he was like a featured regular on a show. But yeah, him and his like brother started as like child actors, like background and like bit parts and stuff like that when they were like 7 or 5 or something. They were
Interesting.
like a year or two apart. And back then he went by his real name, Ronald Walken,
Very
or
cool.
Ronnie Walken. But yeah, it had Todd Bridges in it, and
Cameron Bryce is in there. That's
yeah, there's a bunch of people.
Cameron
Jada
Boyce.
Pinkett Smith. Uh, there's a bunch of actors that you didn't realize have been act in front of the camera since they were like 5. We were like,
Yeah.
wait, that guy was that. I didn't know that was a child actor. And then a lot of people that you do know, like Mara Wilson, and, you know,
Yeah. Cool.
but
Yeah. So check out Showbiz Kids and Kid 90 on Hulu with Punky Brewster. That one's really good. It's very sad.
yeah, this one was sad too.
Not a good life.
There's another one I started watching that's um, by, or, oh, wait, no, she's making it. I was watching like one of her, she's making it. It's called, it's called like Cradle to Train Wreck Pipeline or
Hmm.
something like that. Because that's how she sees it.
Yeah.
That like, you're like put into this environment that's really for adults, but you're a kid. You get messed up mentally, and then you become like a train wreck. And she was like a Disney star, the girl that's doing it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always fascinated with kid actors growing up. Always wanted to be a kid actor, but then hearing about this is growing up. I'm
Oh, Will
that
Wheaton's on it. Will Wheaton's in it.
glad it's got the belt. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We
Yeah.
will see you next time on the TV Time Machine podcast. I wish the little guys were here to exit the show
Yeah.
for us, but I'm Luis.
And I'm Adam.
I'm afraid to even try it. And we love TV.
We love TV.
God damn it. I hate Zoom. All right, cool. I'm going to render this and text you.
All right.